Something we are thanking God for.
Even the dire World Health Organization report on AIDS did not shake the believers' confidence in God.
We have seen the AIDS virus healed, and the doctors go, wow, I can't explain this, but there must be a God up there somewhere.
I had chest pain, I had the skin rash.
I started vomiting.
These were terminal cases.
I lost the appetite. I couldn't eat.
People with full-blown AIDS.
I grew very, very thin as a pop.
After being prayed for, many sensed God's touch.
That there is something changing that very moment.
That very night, the power of God came down, and I felt it.
Not surprisingly, these self-proclaimed healings elicited serious skepticism from medical caregivers.
Why have you bothered yourself to come here? Because your status and your appearance shows that you are a victim.
But in time, this skepticism turned to amazement.
My doctor looked at me. He was amazed. He said, hey, are you still living?
I was checked. There's no AIDS.
They read my name, Ruth Birabwa, HIV negative.
And they told me you are HIV negative, non-reactive. There's no virus in your body.
Then the rest of the symptoms started to disappear one by one.
God had healed me totally.
It was a refrain heard thousands of times across Uganda.
But as I talk to you right now, I have experienced over 372 AIDS patients being healed.
Uganda has been recorded as one of the first countries to see a decline in HIV.
We believe it's because of our prayer, and we believe it's because of the love and the grace of God.
It is also because Uganda has promoted abstinence and faithfulness as their primary weapons against AIDS.
I vowed before you that if you heal me, I'll tell all the people.
I will not die, but live, and will proclaim what the Lord has done.
The power of God has also been manifested in the political arena.
I believe Uganda is in a new beginning politically.
In divine timing, God brought leadership. God began to put people in place.
God is working in this country.
Paul Atiang has held nearly every post in Uganda's government, including Prime Minister.
The Lord has always been with me.
But it's the Lord who makes character.
Beatrice Bayenka is a member of parliament from the Hoima district.
So I want to be more firm in everything that I do, and so that the light may so shine.
They expect us to reflect Christ.
Stephen Unyo is the nation's deputy police commissioner.
I'm one of those who believe that God must talk to me, especially in this type of job I am.
On a number of occasions, Unyo has seen God quell violent riots in answer to prayer.
And I believe, out of my personal experience, children of God, if we continue in prayer, there is nothing impossible.
But I've taken my faith up to the governmental level.
Cecilia Adam Ogwal is the fiery leader of Uganda's parliamentary opposition.
I am an ambassador of Christ. And I'm not ashamed to testify that anywhere I go.
As we saw the government changing and the spiritual realm being changed, we felt, you know what? The God of Uganda has not gone to sleep yet. The gospel has introduced new changes even in the structure of the government. Now we have a new ministry called the Ministry of Ethics and Integrity. We never used to have that.
God put me in this position.
God needed a tough person for a tough assignment.
And when I was tussling with getting born again, I told him, I want you to get me hold of me like you did with Saul on the way to Damascus. And he did it.
Miriam Matembe remembers the day she stood before the president and his cabinet to explain her portfolio. Her words were prophetic.
Do you remember the story of the children of the Israelites in the slavery and how Moses led them from the promised land? Here I am. I'm the Moses of Uganda. The Lord has appointed me here to lead Uganda from UNESCO conduct, moral decadence, corruption, to the right direction.
As the source of the river that once carried a younger Moses to his destiny, Uganda is again on the highway to history. And the journey is nowhere more evident than in the government's aggressive plan to build ethics and integrity in public office.
I knew that the battle is very hard and difficult, but the Lord is with me.
Today there's a lot of corruption in Uganda, but if we look back to how it was 15 years ago, it's just incomparable.
Judge Julia Sabutendi is a special prosecutor appointed by the president. A fervent Christian, her corruption-free reputation has brought new energy and credibility to the campaign.
What she has unearthed has shocked the whole nation, and people are trembling. Big shots.
The files are for to refresh our memory. Talk to us.
She is what she is because she's born again, because she has stood her ground.
And to see that today people are coming back to this place of integrity is amazing.
We have seen God do great things until crime rate drops 50%.
Not surprisingly, this new attitude is impacting the national economy. While things are still tough, positive signs are everywhere.
The economy, which was predicted to collapse, has not collapsed as such, but it has been among the 3 fastest growing economies in Africa.
And Uganda's churches are growing even faster than her economy.
And we went from 7 people to 2,000 people in 2 weeks.
Not bad for a young man who was once tossed onto a garbage heap.
Today, it's amazing. We have 5 services on Sunday morning, and we're averaging about 20,000 people. And today, I'll tell you, our church is not the only church that God's growing.
And there is revival, immense revival going on within our churches.
Every day in Uganda, there is a new church starting up, or a ministry starting up.
Once we have set ourselves free from the sin of our past, then we need to focus on the purpose of God.
On New Year's Eve, 1999, Uganda joined the rest of the world in celebrating the arrival of a new millennium. But there was a special character to the Ugandan celebration.
His is the invisible hand that has moved us along and shaped our destiny.
10 weeks earlier, First Lady Janet Museveni had invited several church leaders to a meeting.
So when she came in, she told us she had a vision. As we enter the new millennium, can't we organize a time of thanksgiving to God for the way God has got us through this period?
I mean, she had requested that we dedicate the nation officially back to God.
Good morning to all of you, and Happy New Year.
So in the presence of the President and First Lady, we covenanted the nation to God for the next 1,000 years.
The covenant, which included the signatures of the President and First Lady, was remarkably explicit.